There are two pathways to becoming involved and to developing yourself into this new era. It's called the AI era. And right now, more than ever in the history of mankind, in the history of humanity, right now more than ever is a period where every single human being who has the capacity to be a deep learner, every single human being who has the capacity to critically think, who has the capacity to learn how to learn deeply, who has the capacity to convert their brain from a fixed surface learning brain model to a deep learning brain model. What's the difference between the two? I'll explain to you in a minute. But in this era right now, the era of AI, how do you get involved in AI? How do you become involved in the biggest industry in the history of the world? The industry that's going to control where humanity goes over the next 100, 1,000 years and beyond. Because this is the beginning. This is the moment where everyone has an opportunity. And all it starts with a creative brain. A deep learning brain model, someone that has the ability to acquire new knowledge, use their existing knowledge to solve problems towards a desire. That's the machine. Acquiring new knowledge, connecting it with old knowledge to solve problems towards a desire. And that desire then becomes an ecstatic desire. Because when you have an ecstatic desire, the joyness, the joyfulness that goes through your body is a moment that nothing can distract it. When you're in that moment of being ecstatic, when you're in that moment of being joyful, and you find that moment, and most people unfortunately never find that moment because they've got the wrong learning brain model. They've got a surface fixed mindset. It's a surface learning model. What that model is, it's getting and receiving information and rememorizing or reproducing that information for a particular reward or a grade, and then being told to follow a process and doing that over and over again for the rest of your life. Does that sound familiar? So you're receiving information, you're rememorizing that information to reproduce it for a particular reward or grade, and then you just follow the process as you're being told. The majority of people have that type of mindset because that's the mindset you've been trained on. It's a fixed mindset. It's the mindset that the majority of people came out of school with. University people came out of a fixed mindset because that's the way the system taught humans. Very small percentage came out with a deep learning mindset. The deep learning mindset, again, let me repeat, that's about acquiring new knowledge, connecting it with the old knowledge, solve problems towards desire. And that should be your daily mindset. How am I solving problems towards my desire? How am I solving problems towards my desire? How am I solving problems towards it? Because when you're solving a problem, every time you solve a problem towards your desire, you're growing, you're developing, you're becoming more skillful, you're becoming more of a leader. Your brain is on a growth mindset. So you're on this growth mindset. When you're on a fixed mindset, your brain's doing this. It's getting bored. When your brain gets bored, the worst thing that can happen to your brain is it gets bored. The worst thing that can happen to your brain when you're hearing voices out there that say, oh, well, I'm too old for this. I don't have a lot of energy. I'm tired. It's past my use-by date. It's too late for me. And I hear that. And it's so wrong. Because everyone, right now, even my own father, even my own father who's in his 80s the other day was talking to me about a potential product in AI, because now he understands AI because I've taught him about AI, and so he's getting excited about AI now with his own mindset and what he sees of the world and his own experience. He now sees a way to solve a problem, and he's connecting that, and now we're discussing about a product. So every single human, doesn't matter whether you're an IT nerd or doesn't matter whether you can do coding or not, that's not the game. The game is having a mindset, a deep learning mindset. And so having that deep learning mindset means that you can creatively think and write ideas, creatively think and write feelings and emotions, creatively think and observe your senses and what's happening. And then, because once you can do that and understand, and that's through deep learning exercises like reflection exercise, like curiosity exercise, like what we call failure exercise, all these different types of exercises that I've developed are specifically done so that your brain is continuously and constantly in 100% deep learning mindset mode. It's not enough to be doing deep learning practices and then for the rest of the day be in some kind of fixed mindset. I've done it, tick the box, and let's move on. The goal is to be 100% in deep learning mindset mode, because if you're in deep learning mindset mode 100% of the time for an extended period of time, let's say 30 days or 60 days, I guarantee you 100%, your life is going to become unlimited. Every aspect of your life is going to get better. You're going to develop ideas, you're going to develop skills, you're going to develop an awareness about yourself that you never even imagined. Because there's a massive part of our brain that's still underdeveloped. There's a massive amount of our brain neurons, like little workers in our brain, that haven't been used. And the reason why they haven't been used is because they're not excited enough to be used. We're not exciting them enough because society has told us, this is your timeline, this is what you need to do, this is what you're going to do at this age, and when you get a certain age, that's what you're going to do. That is crap. That's not correct. You control your mindset, you control your timetable, you control what you're going to do, you control your outcome. It means you can't have doubt, you can't have fear, because the two things that will kill you on your journey, it's not becoming a deep learner. You can become a deep learner and not get the outcome because you've allowed doubt and fear to kick in. We can't allow doubt and fear to kick in. We have to protect ourselves, and you will notice every single aspect of your life is going to change. Not one aspect of your life is going to be the same. Your relationships will change. Every single relationship around you is going to change. Every single discussion around you is going to change. It's going to get better. You're going to become deeper in terms of what the discussion's about. What can I take from this discussion? What am I learning from that discussion? What am I not learning from that discussion? You're going to be able to identify everything that you read and identify, well, is that information that I need? Do I really want to, how do I use that information? Because anything, once you're a deep learner and you've found your ecstatic desire, any action that is not towards that ecstatic desire, you just kill it or eliminate it. Anything that negates your drive, your pathway towards that ecstatic desire, you will automatically eliminate it. And you probably will lose friends. But time is so important. And when you find that moment, when you find that target, the journey is beautiful. It's gold. It's the golden mile. and you don't want to get off it. You don't want to get off it for anybody because you just want to keep on that. And there's going to be people around us that are going to try and distract us. Even people that are close to us, that love us, they probably are concerned, but they're not really concerned. They're more concerned about themselves. People that usually come and say, I'm concerned about you, they're not really concerned about you, about themselves, because they're probably thinking, I might lose them. They're growing and developing, maybe I can't keep up. So I'm going to lose them. And don't allow doubt. Don't allow fear. They're the two cancers that will get in your way and stop you from getting to that journey and stop you from getting to that destination. Because the only thing that you owe yourself, the only thing till the day you die, to the day that you die, is to bring your best version. Because your best version is a lot smarter, is a lot more limitless, has so much energy, can do world-leading stuff if you search for it, if you become aware of it, and if you train your brain and practice your brain to get it. It's never too late. And I don't care who you are, I don't care what your educational background is, you can do unbelievable, unimaginable things in your life and become limitless. AI, and I put this in capital, don't be scared of AI. I will teach you about AI, and I will teach you about AI in a way that's exciting, in a way that's creative, in a way that is in a way that can allow you to imagine what it is. Because what you need to understand is not necessarily become a coder or not necessarily become an engineer, and if you want to do that, great. You don't even have to understand about IT anymore, because even those things now can be automated. AI can do all that. That's why you're living in the best era. All you need to do is bring your deep learning brain. Bring your deep learning brain. That's all you need to do. You bring the deep learning brain, and the AI is going to do everything else. Because the AI now is so advanced, and it's going to continue to get advanced. So a lot of these tasks that are done, like things like Word or Excel or PowerPoint, and I'm getting people saying, well, Ross, I'm not very good on the computer. It doesn't really matter anymore. You just have to bring your deep learning brain. You bring the deep learning mindset to the table. You become a deep learner. The AI is going to follow you, because a deep learning mindset, they're the ones that create the ideas. They're the ones that are going to write the ideas. They're the ones that are going to write the solution. They're the ones that are problem solvers. They know how to solve problems, because you learn to solve problems, not just reproduce information and follow. You learn to create your own. You live as a deep learner 100%, and you don't deviate. You don't deviate from the road that you're on, because that road is the golden road, and that adventure means that you're going towards that ecstatic desire, that joyfulness that's inside you, that's burning inside you. Because that moment of finding that ecstatic desire, knowing your target, and being on that golden road towards it, that journey is life. And it's not going to be smooth. There's going to be problems. But your brain already knows that. Your brain's aware of the problems. Your brain knows every time I jump that problem, I'm getting stronger. Every time I jump that hurdle, I'm getting more powerful. I'm mastering this. Why? Because we're bringing the old knowledge and the new knowledge together to solve a problem towards a desire. And guess what? You got this now, AI. And it doesn't matter whether you're a coder. It doesn't matter whether you're good in maths anymore. It doesn't matter. And I'm not saying not to be good at maths, because that could be one of your goals. But it doesn't really matter, because AI is going to connect with your ideas. And if you're a continuous problem solver, if you're a continuous deep learner towards a desire, and then all of a sudden it becomes an ecstatic desire, because that's the goal. We're practicing our brain. We're switching our brain. That's why I've called it the deep learning machine, because our brain becomes a deep learning machine. It's solving problems, it's acquiring new knowledge, it's using its old knowledge to solve problems towards a desire. It's acquiring new knowledge, it's connecting with the old knowledge to solve problems towards a desire. And you're always solving problems, and you're always building new experiences. And you're always solving problems and building new experience towards that desire. Eventually that desire becomes ecstatic, because it's unpredictable, because your brain is growing and developing, because your new neurons now are coming into your brain, they're getting more excited. And guess what? They realize, hey, I know that's your desire, but isn't that better? And all of a sudden your desires start to evolve, and eventually you bulldoze that ecstatic desire. You find that desire, and when that happens, everything around you just flies away. You've got no time for gossip. You've got no time for anything that's irrelevant to your destination. You learn how to program yourself to ignore those discussions. You don't want to have discussions other than those discussions that are creating ideas, that are solving problems, that are on that journey, on that pathway, because it's all about you getting there. And when you get there, and when you're on that journey, life is that journey. Life is that pathway. You will meet so many different people. I mean, I know with me, I've met so many different people, even in the last 2 or 3 months, that I don't think I ever would have met had it not been for deep learning and AI. The deep learning mindsets will dominate not only AI, but together will dominate the whole world. A coder who writes code and programs is doing it for a machine. So they're writing code and communicating it to a machine for a human benefit. A creative, deep learning writer is writing for another human. So even when you're writing a journal, even when you're writing your deep learning thoughts, even when you're reflecting, you need to read it. So you're even doing it for your own brain. So you're doing it for another human being. You're putting feelings and emotions for another human being. So becoming a deep learning creative writer, so that a human can read it, is more powerful than being a coder for a machine to understand. Because a coder or a programmer for the machine, we're doing that for a human benefit. So when we're building AI, we're doing it for a human benefit. A writer, a deep learning writer who's able to reflect in his writing is doing it for a human. So this is the advantage. You've got a human benefit, you've got feelings and emotions communicating for a human benefit. And that's where the ideas are going to come from. A coder is just doing it to a machine for a human benefit. So the human benefit is always there. It's everything for a human benefit. That's why I'm pushing becoming a deep learner. That is the skill that you need to master, because once you master that, you'll understand AI. You'll become excited about AI. A lot of people get bored with AI. They think, oh, it's just programming, it's just numbers, it's just coding and all that stuff. That's just a language. Coding is just a language like any other language. It's just a language for machines, and it's all these different languages for machines. But if I've got a great recipe for a cake, it doesn't matter what language it's in, if I create a great cake recipe that makes it worldwide the best cake in the world, for whatever reason, I've created that through my experience, through my knowledge, through my trial and error as a deep learner. And then I want to teach the machine to do it. It's all come from my ideas, from my creativity, from my angle, and I just have to basically transfer that recipe into the machine language. It's like if I gave that recipe to someone other than English, say I wanted to give that recipe to another language, I just have to translate it. It's the same thing. Code is just translate so the machine can understand it. And of course, we add technologies if we need to understand it better. Mastering deep learning, becoming a deep learner, not 99%. Let me emphasize this. You're either 100% or you're not. You can't do this 99%. You can't become a deep learner. I have rejected, I've had people call me to join my journey, to join my course, and I've rejected people unless you're 100%. If you're not 100% on board, you're 99% on board, that's not good enough. Because 99% then becomes 98%, and then it becomes 97%, and you start going, and all of a sudden, it's not going to work, because unless you're 100%, on board and focused on becoming a 100% deep learner, where that's your focus, that's 100% your journey, then I can tell you right now, 100%, anything you put your mind to, you're going to make it. You're going to get to that destination. But if there's doubts, if there's a little bit of doubt, there's a little bit of fear, there's a little bit of what my friends are going to say, it's a little bit of, well, what am I going to do, and all that stuff, which creeps in, 99% is not enough. And this is why most courses, this is why most motivational speakers don't necessarily work. It's not because they're bad, it's not because the courses are bad, it's because the brain model is wrong. It's not focused. And you get the same outcome. It's always the 1%. It's always the 1% that will read one book and go on to change the world. Read one book and change the world. And you get people that read thousands of books and don't change the world, don't actually do anything. Just read it and become depressed because that one person that read one book changed the world. Why? Because of deep learning. They became deep learners. They became 100% deep learners. That's got to be the mindset. And yes, and this is not a gimmick, 100%, you do this, 100% in 30 days, 100%, you will be on the pathway to becoming unlimited. Your life will change to the better 100%. Nothing will get in your way, and you will be on the pathway to a life that's full of adventure, full of successes. You will add so much value to yourself, value to the market, value to your friends that want to hang around. So the friends that want to hang around are the ones that are going to be supporting you and pushing you. The friends that are going to try and doubt you and trying to pull you back, they're the ones that don't want you to move. And unfortunately, you have to make some tough decisions on that. But if you're on my journey, if you're on my path, this is where I come into it. This is where I'm adding value to people, is that I will make sure that if it's 100% what you do, it's 100% of what you want, I will make sure you stay on that path and make sure that 30 days you have transformed your life into the person you know you were born to be. And when you become that person you're born to be, you don't need anyone. You don't need the contacts. You don't need the resources. They somehow just come to you. They somehow come find you. It's just a way the world works. It finds its way to you. You don't have to go and beg, because you're adding value. You're adding value. You're adding value, and people just come into your life and just start having discussions, and they want to either offer you a business opportunity. I've had 9 business opportunities where people have come to me to do a business venture with, because I'm assuming they see value in what I'm doing and so they want to partner with me to create products. And I haven't gone out for it, it's come to me, and that's what happens. It will come to you. But again, it's not going to work unless you're 100% on board. You can't be 99%, it's not enough. Let me repeat, 99% is not enough. And I know when I do my interviews at the beginning, and I'll have a good 1 hour discussion that's to suss out where you're at and whether you're 99% to do my program that will 100% change your life. But I know that if you're at 99%, I'm not going to do it because I want 100% strike rate. 99% is not going to cut it. You have to really want it 100%. You've really got to want it 100%. And that's where my interview process will decide